Solomon, one of the most fascinating and complex figures in the Bible. Known for his unmatched wisdom, vast wealth, and incredible legacy, his life offers lessons in leadership, faith, and human frailty. In this video, we'll walk through the remarkable life of King Solomon, from his early days to his reign as the King of Israel. Join me on this journey through history as we uncover the story of a man chosen by God to build the temple, but also one who faced challenges with power, wealth, and temptation. Solomon's story begins long before he takes the throne of Israel. To fully understand his rise to greatness, we must first explore his lineage and the events that led to his birth. Solomon's ascension to the throne wasn't without conflict. As David grew older, a power struggle arose among his sons. Adonijah, David's other son, attempted to claim the throne, but David, under the guidance of the prophet Nathan and Bathsheba, declared Solomon the rightful heir. Solomon's coronation marked the beginning of one of Israel's most prosperous reigns. Despite being young and inexperienced, Solomon had one thing in his favor: a deep connection to God, and it's in his famous prayer that Solomon's story truly takes shape. After ascending the throne, Solomon faced the daunting task of leading a vast and diverse kingdom. Instead of asking God for wealth, power, or a long life, Solomon prayed for something far more valuable: wisdom. In 1 Kings 3:9, Solomon prayed, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." God was so pleased with Solomon's request that he not only granted him unparalleled wisdom, but also promised him wealth, honor, and a long life, if Solomon remained faithful. This moment defined Solomon's reign and his legacy as the wisest man who ever lived. Solomon is perhaps best known for fulfilling one of his father's greatest desires: the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. King David had longed to build a house for God, but it was Solomon who would make this vision a reality. Using the finest materials, cedar wood from Lebanon, gold, silver, and precious stones, Solomon oversaw the construction of the temple, which took 7 years to complete. It became the center of worship for the people of Israel and a symbol of God's presence among his people. The temple was not only a physical structure but a spiritual center. It housed the Ark of the Covenant, which represented God's covenant with Israel. The completion of the temple was a crowning achievement of Solomon's reign and one of the most significant moments in Israel's history. Under Solomon's leadership, Israel became incredibly wealthy and powerful. His wisdom attracted rulers from distant lands, including the famous Queen of Sheba, who visited to test Solomon's wisdom and witness the grandeur of his kingdom. Solomon's ability to form alliances through diplomacy, including marrying foreign princesses, expanded Israel's influence. His wealth and splendor were unmatched in the ancient world, and his wisdom continued to be sought after by kings and queens alike. But Solomon's story is not without its darker chapters. As his wealth and influence grew, so did his desire for power and control. He married many foreign women, 700 wives and 300 concubines, who brought with them their gods and idols. Over time, Solomon's heart began to turn away from the Lord. Solomon allowed these foreign influences to infiltrate Israel, leading him to build altars and shrines for other gods. This disobedience angered the Lord, who had warned Solomon not to worship other gods. In 1 Kings 11, we read that God declared that the kingdom would be torn away from Solomon's descendants because of his unfaithfulness. Solomon's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of losing sight of God's commands. Despite his wisdom and success, Solomon's divided heart ultimately led to the downfall of his kingdom. Solomon ruled Israel for 40 years, and his reign brought both unprecedented prosperity and significant challenges. His writings, including Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Solomon, continue to offer wisdom to people across the world. Solomon's legacy is complex. He was a man of great wisdom, but also great weakness. His life teaches us that no matter how wise or powerful we become, remaining faithful to God is the key to true success. The life of Solomon is one of contrasts: wisdom and foolishness, devotion and disobedience. His story reminds us that our relationship with God must remain at the center of all we do. If we seek wisdom like Solomon, we must also guard our hearts and stay true to God's commands. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of Solomon. If you found this video inspiring, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more biblical stories and teachings. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom and following the path of faith. Learn more about the kings of Israel in our upcoming videos. Stay tuned.